Unlock the ancient secrets of medieval bread that made peasants thrived. Hash 4 will surprise you. In medieval times, bread was the cornerstone of the diet for both the rich and the poor. But the type of bread consumed depended largely on one's social and economic status. While the wealthy could afford white bread made from finely milled wheat, the poor relied on coarser, darker breads made from barley, rye, and even oats. However, these humble loaves were not just a necessity. They were a brilliant testament to the resourcefulness of medieval bakers who had to make the most of limited ingredients. Scientists today are rediscovering the genius of these simple, often overlooked breads. In an era with no refrigeration, preservatives, or modern milling techniques, these breads were crafted to be not only filling but also long-lasting, providing essential nutrients to the working class. The grains used in medieval bread were often hardy and resilient, thriving in the less than ideal soil conditions of northern Europe. They were rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, which helped sustain the lower classes through long, grueling workdays. In addition to being nutritious, medieval breads were often made using techniques that enhanced their preservation. The tough crusts, for example, helped seal the bread and keep it fresh for extended periods, crucial in times when food spoilage was a constant concern. As scientists study these ancient recipes, they're uncovering how these poor man's breads were not only sustenance but a genius way to maximize the value of the simplest ingredients available. Porridge bread, a staple in medieval times, was a remarkable creation born from the need to make the most out of scarce resources. In an era when food was hard to come by and wastage was a luxury few could afford, this type of bread became a life-saving innovation. Made primarily from grains like oats, barley, or rye, porridge bread was often a mixture of cooked grains and leftover scraps, combined with minimal ingredients. The process began by cooking the grain into a thick porridge, which was then mixed with flour or meal to form a dough. The result was a dense, hearty bread that could be baked and stored for days. Porridge bread was particularly important for the poorer segments of society. It utilized whatever was available, even including leftover porridge or gruel from previous meals, making it a practical solution for preventing food waste. The inclusion of grains like barley and oats ensured that this bread was not only filling, but also packed with the fiber and nutrients essential for maintaining energy and health during the demanding, labor-intensive days. This form of bread wasn't just functional, it was ingenious. Its simplicity made it an easy-to-prepare and highly versatile food, often enjoyed by workers, peasants, and farmers. It could be eaten as is, used to soak up stews and soups, or even eaten cold, making it ideal for busy, hard-working people who needed a reliable and nutritious food source. In the modern world, scientists are rediscovering the wisdom behind porridge bread and its enduring appeal as a nutritious, low-cost food. Rye and barley bread were essential staples in the medieval diet, especially for those who could not afford the luxury of white wheat bread. These grains were hardy and could grow in harsh climates, making them accessible to peasants and workers who relied on bread as their primary source of sustenance. Unlike the refined wheat flour used for the rich, rye and barley provided a more robust, hearty loaf that was filled with nutrients. Rye, in particular, was valued for its ability to thrive in poorer soils, while barley was used not only in bread but also as feed for animals and in brewing beer. What makes rye and barley bread truly remarkable is their nutritional value. Both grains are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, including B vitamins, iron, and magnesium. These nutrients were crucial for medieval people, as they provided the energy needed to endure long days of physical labor. The higher fiber content in rye and barley also meant that the bread was more filling and helped with digestion, making it an ideal food for hardworking peasants who needed to feel full and satisfied without constantly needing to eat. Additionally, rye and barley loaves had a dense, chewy texture that made them durable and able to withstand the rigors of daily life. These breads could last for days, sometimes even weeks, without spoiling, thanks to their dense nature and the preservation techniques used in baking. This durability made them an invaluable part of the medieval diet, ensuring that people had a reliable food source, even during times of scarcity. Sourdough, one of the oldest forms of leavened bread, was a revolutionary discovery in medieval times, offering both practical and health benefits. Unlike modern bread made with commercial yeast, sourdough was naturally fermented through wild yeast and lactic acid bacteria present in the environment. This fermentation process not only helped the dough rise but also played a critical role in enhancing the flavor and preserving the bread for longer periods. For medieval bakers, who lacked refrigeration or preservatives, the naturally occurring microbes in sourdough provided an invaluable advantage in keeping their bread fresh and edible for days, even weeks. The use of sourdough also had significant health benefits. The fermentation process breaks down some of the phytic acid in grains, which can inhibit mineral absorption. This made sourdough bread more digestible and allowed the body to better absorb the essential nutrients found in grains like rye and barley. Additionally, the lactic acid bacteria produced during fermentation were thought to have a positive effect on gut health, improving digestion and promoting a healthy microbiome. In medieval times, the sourdough process was passed down through generations, with each baker maintaining their own starter, a culture of yeast and bacteria that was used to inoculate new batches of dough. This method not only made sourdough bread highly resilient, but also turned it into a community tradition. As scientists study ancient bread-making techniques, they are rediscovering the powerful benefits of sourdough, finding that it was not only a practical solution for preservation, but also a genius way to enhance the nutritional value of bread. Dark breads, often made from whole grains such as rye, barley, or even oats, were a staple of the medieval diet and served as a nutritional powerhouse for the lower classes. Unlike the refined white bread enjoyed by the wealthy, these dense, dark loaves were rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. The use of whole grains ensured that every part of the grain, including the bran, germ, and endosperm, was preserved in the bread, making it far more nutritious. The high fiber content, in particular, made dark breads a critical part of the diet, aiding in digestion and helping to keep the body full for longer periods, which was essential for peasants who often worked long hours in the fields or at other labor-intensive tasks. Additionally, these dark breads provided essential nutrients that were crucial for survival in the harsh medieval world. Whole grains are rich in B vitamins, which help with energy production, and they contain iron and magnesium, which are vital for maintaining a healthy blood supply and muscle function. These breads were also a reliable source of complex carbohydrates, providing the energy necessary for long, grueling workdays. Beyond their nutritional value, dark breads were incredibly resilient. Their dense nature allowed them to last longer than lighter, refined breads, making them ideal for storage in times of scarcity. This durability, combined with their nutritional benefits, made dark breads a genius food source that helped sustain medieval societies through challenging times. As modern science uncovers the importance of whole grains in our diet, the brilliance of medieval dark breads is becoming increasingly apparent. Medieval bread was not just a simple food item. It was a vital part of daily life, and the cleverness of its design went beyond just nutrition. The use of whole grains like rye, barley, and oats in dark breads not only made them a significant source of fiber and essential nutrients, but also offered a level of preservation that was invaluable in the medieval world. These dense loaves, often made with minimal ingredients, were remarkably long-lasting, even without the modern preservatives we rely on today. The tough, crusty exterior of these loaves played a crucial role in this preservation, acting as a protective layer that sealed in moisture and kept out contaminants. This allowed the bread to remain edible for days or even weeks, making it an indispensable part of the diet for those who could not afford to waste food. This durability was a lifesaver in times of scarcity, when food supplies were often unpredictable, and long storage times were necessary. The ability to bake bread that could endure without spoiling was a significant advantage for the medieval population, especially the poorer classes, who lacked access to fresh supplies and had to make do with whatever was available. The long shelf life of these loaves ensured that even in difficult times, people could rely on bread as a consistent food source. helping them survive through famines, harsh winters, or periods of economic instability. The genius of these medieval breads lies in their simplicity, providing both essential nutrients and a lasting, dependable source of sustenance for people living under challenging conditions. If you want more mind-blowing facts about history and food, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Join the community and stay ahead of the curve.